Knock it off. Stop. Stop it. All right, here we are. Am I on, by the way? Is this working? You would not believe. What? What does that mean? I asked, is it working? And this was the signal. What does that mean? What does it mean? Is it working?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, I apologize for that. I'm right now. It's nice to be here with you. By the way, I'm Uncle Henry. Back in 1989, I did a TV show on local cable television, The Uncle Henry Show, where I fought communism, devil worship, and immoral behavior. That was my mission. And many years have gone by, something like 30-something. And obviously, my mission of fighting communism and devil worship and immoral behavior was a complete failure. Complete failure. We've gotten close to electing socialist communists, so I failed there. The devil worship, all you've got to look at is just all around you. They're building statues to demonic people all over the country. And the immoral behavior, I mean, after you watch this, if you watch for 10 seconds, you're probably flipping over to HBO and seeing full frontal nudity of men. They even have it with men, with men's genitals, which is sick. By the way, I've not looked at my own body nude for over 25 years. I bathe by feel because I don't want to see it. So I've failed. The immoral behavior is everywhere. It feels kind of pointless coming back here with you. But we're in unusual times. We're in a pandemic, something we've not faced before. In fact, this is one of the weirdest Friday nights in Mobile history because we have many generations of Mobilians that have been raised on the music of Wet Willie, who implored us every Friday afternoon with the song Weekend. They would sing to us, and it would get imprinted onto our brains, into our subconscious and conscious minds, that weekend, do what you want to do. Weekend, when your working day is through. Weekend, 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 weekend. You've got to have 5 weekends or you're not being accurate. Well, think about it. Weekend, do what you want to do. We can't do what we want to do. We can't. We're now under curfews and all kind of rules. You can't go up into a grocery store and get near anybody. You can't buy toilet paper if you want to wipe your butt. I mean, we can't do what we want to do. And when your working days are through, that part, some of us aren't working at all. We're sitting at home, hiding the vodka behind our back when the kids walk into the room. And the other people that are still working are working double, triple, quadruple time. So we're in very unusual times. So Johnny Gwin of Deep Fried Studios, his crew here, the Inexpensive Winos, Johnny Gwin said, why don't you come in on a Friday night and try to capture a little bit of that old vigor of the old Uncle Henry show. And there's no vigor here, not enough supplements in the universe for that. But I decided, why not? I felt like I needed to come and commune with you, the Mobilian, so that we could feel closer together. Not too close, but a little bit closer together to connect with you. And I want to urge you, while we're going through this difficult time, please calm the hell down. Calm the hell down. Take a look at yourself, at what you're doing. Calm down. We've got a set of people that are flipping out because of the existential threat of the COVID-19, also known as the row. They think they're going to die from the row. And then you've got other people that are freaking out because their businesses are being destroyed by all the government rules about social distancing. And then you've got another set of people that are flipping out because they see everybody else flipping out and they're stupid moron lemmings. And you know them. You might even have one in your house. And I apologize for using the word moron. These stupid dumbasses are just flipping out. They're flipping out all the time. And it's really on my nerves, all the flipping out. So I'm here to calm you down. I want you to just calm down. We're going to have a wonderful conversation tonight with Jonna Farmer of 95 KSJ. She was raised in Satsuma, and she then moved to Saraland. Why would anybody move to Saraland? We'll find out. You'll be surprised, like I am, that there's a lot going on in Saraland. So we're going to get to the heart of something beautiful, North Mobile County. I'm not including Creola. No offense, Creola. The beautiful part would be Satsuma, Saraland, parts of Chickasaw. But we're going to learn about that from Jonna. She's also been watching The Tiger Man on Netflix, and she can give us an update on that. That's an example of people flipping out, having mental illness and watching The Tiger Man. So we're going to get into all of this, and we're going to take phone calls. If you can behave on the phone calls. The telephone number in advance is 251. Wait, now before I give this out, don't start calling. If the phone starts ringing, I'm gonna give it to you. 251, don't call it now. It's not time. 251-217-6974. 217-6974. We picked 69-74 because that span of years between 69 and 74, those were the years when I was fertile. Those were the years when I was fertile. And then during the Carter administration is when I became celibate, and I've lived that lifestyle ever since. All right, now is there anything else I need to mention? By the way, there's a guy in here, he must be 35, 40 years old, and he's wearing a Pink Floyd t-shirt. What are you are you hiding from the government or something with this? All right, well, is there anything else I need to do before we bring Jonna on?
You're good to go.
All right, thank you. You know, I don't even think one glass of wine, and there's already a delay in any kind of response from these people. All right, are we, now before we bring Jonna on, well, am I still on camera?
Yes.
Okay, good. That was a quick response. We're trying to do the social distancing. Dr. Oshold today called it physical distancing. And he wants people even 8 feet apart. So think about that. You may not have been doing it right all along, but don't flip out. Calm down. All right, now, when we're going to get on the set here, and we're taking some precautions. Jonna and I will be as far apart as we can and still be in the camera shot. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to take my seat. Please welcome to the program Jonna Farmer of 95 KSJ.
Hey, Uncle Henry.
Have a seat.
How are you?
I'm fine, Jonna.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Now, I was promised, John, I want to apologize, because I promised you that we would protect you from any droplets. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of droplets around here, and I was promised a physical barrier. And this barrier, Johnny, droplets can go all over the top of this.
Especially when he gets riled up. Have you ever seen him? He just sprays.
Well, come on now. You've been known to speak with great vigor yourself.
A little bit. All
right. Well, I apologize for this in the set. I apologize for the fact this looks like if they were doing the Oprah show in Yugoslavia. Is what it looks like. You know, this is Mobile, Alabama, and
What is
there's
it exactly?
I don't know. It's like they spent all the money on the building, the container yard, and they didn't have any money.
It's a beautiful building.
Nothing left over. All right, so let's start by examining Jonna Farmer on an emotional, spiritual level. Jonna, where were you born?
I was born at Spring Hill Memorial Hospital, where babies come from.
Okay, very good.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
No, Satsuma, born and raised, back when it was one stoplight, one red light in town, and a couple churches and a couple of schools, and that was it.
How long did you live in Satsuma, Alabama?
Satsuma, Alabama, 18 years.
How about, so you really are, what a great example that you came out of Satsuma. No, seriously, think about it. She's on the radio. She speaks beautiful English. Think about this. Out of Satsuma, Alabama.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so I'm from Satsuma. If I get on the phone with my mother, you can really hear the Satsuma come out. Because then it's just, Uncle Henry, you need to stop talking like that. And it
So-
just comes out real quick like.
All right, now, why don't you talk like that on the air? Because I think we'd have even more success with that.
Do you know, right when I got into radio, I was in Top 40 Radio, and Shelby Mitchell from 95 KSJ and I worked at the same event. It was Senior Way to 100K. It was a live karaoke style talent contest. And she told me, it was the first time I ever met Shelby, and my accent came flying out. I think I'd had a couple of cocktails at the time. Also, when the accent comes out. And Shelby said, you need to be working for my station, KSJ. And in that moment, I was like, I will work for 95 KSJ one day. But in my head, it was like, I'll work for 95 KSJ one day. So I don't know why it doesn't come out on the air. I've been trained to have this non-regional diction, even with country radio.
Trained to have non-regional diction.
And I was
What
even
is
told-
this? You know, I'm sorry, John, let me interrupt here. Quit messing with Southern accents. There's nothing wrong with a Southern accent. Let people talk the way they talk. Try to get rid of a regional accent.
I
or
was
a
even
dialect.
told one time that I would
It's
be
sick.
taken off the air if I did not stop saying 9 and 5. I had to learn to say 9 and 5.
You know, that is sick. Where were you working when that was happening?
In Mobile, Alabama.
Name the station.
I'm not. I'm
All right,
not.
all right, this is not going to work if you're not going to be at least a little
I
revealing.
know, but I don't like the whole, because everything's good now. We're good. I can use the 9 and the 5 on 95 KSJ. We're good.
All right, all right. By the way, calm down. All right, so you came out of Satsuma speaking beautiful English. You did have cocktails. Is there a drinking culture that would lead you to drink cocktails in Satsuma?
Yes, the drinking culture in Satsuma, Alabama is usually in the middle of nowhere in a dirt pit on a tailgate. That's where we learn to drink in Satsuma. Usually, and I will say this, from Satsuma we travel into Saraland and go up into the dirt pits.
Okay.
And that's where the tailgates come down.
All right, now we're here. Now,
Right.
We've got to
We
talk about.
commuted to Saraland to drink.
All right, this is the kind of stuff. This is what we ought to be getting on local broadcast television. Is people talking slice of life. We learn to drink in a dirt pit.
Right.
And you know what? You can overcome that and be a radio broadcaster, and work for a lot. You've worked for a lot of great companies.
I have.
This is inspiring. So anybody watching in broadcast media, you need to have more of this on here. This would be a great Darwin interview. All right, now you.
Follow your dreams. Doesn't matter how many dirt pits you've been in.
When I went on, that would be, Johnny, that you need to figure out a graphic for that. That's a sticker.
Yep.
Now, we want to get into Saraland because when I was on the television back in 1989, Saraland there was not a lot going on in Saraland. It was a place that people would move to if they were on the lam.
Okay.
Like we don't want to be discovered, we're going to move to Saraland.
Right.
And I had a loyal following in Saraland. There were a group of people there. They were the Bears Rebel Mudders. And what they were a group of people that their recreation was to ride around in big four-wheel drives in mud. Thus, they were mudders.
Got it.
And they liked to ride their trucks in mud, and that was the recreation. That's all they had going on in Saraland. Now, what is it like now?
For a while, and I'm back in Saraland. I love it. It is fancy schmancy now. It is not quite the mudden town of the mudder days.
What's fancy schmancy about Saraland?
Well, we have a Publix, so number
Okay,
one.
that's good.
I mean, that's pretty big. We've got 6 chicken restaurants, like fast food chicken restaurants. We just keep getting more chicken restaurants. The schools are top notch, I will say that. The school system is the reason that you can't buy a house for less than $400,000, even if it was built, before 1962.
All right, we've got to pause there.
Mm-hmm.
We're not taking breaks, but she's saying interesting stuff, and I've got to delve into this. That's how this works. There's delving. The houses, you said $400,000 in Saraland?
I mean, it might be a little extreme, but the housing market is insane right now because the schools are so good. And I'm into it Trust me, I like that the school system is as good as it is, but you can't buy a house that was built after like night. And real estate people, don't get mad at me right now. I know you're all going to comment on me and bash me for saying that.
Don't attack my
Don't
guests.
attack. Don't attack. But yeah, it's astronomical right now to try to buy a house.
And you attribute it to not the chicken restaurants, but the schools.
Well, I mean, we do have 2 Popeyes now. 2 Popeyes chickens.
I just, Saraland, what a blessing. For Saraland has just blossomed.
I mean, you can leave church and go either direction and end up at a Popeyes.
This is, now here's a question. Now this could be controversial.
Okay.
How has the success of Saraland affected the psyche of the Satsumans? Is there jealousy? Is there a rivalry?
Hey, there's not, well, there might be. There might be a little bit of a rivalry because, Satsuma, when Saraland broke off and created their own school system, Satsuma did the same thing. So we have rival private school systems now. Actually, they're very supportive of one another. Satsuma is much smaller than
Right.
Saraland. They come eat at our chicken places. We go and buy bait and tackle at their little shops. It's not a big deal.
All right, so there's a rivalry, but would you describe it as good-natured or nasty?
It's good-natured. It's that, well, it's kind of that Southern woman good-natured. Like, bless your heart, good-natured.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to talk about you a little bit while we're talking to our hairstylist, but, we still love you.
All right, see, now do you understand why I invited her? This is good. This is learning.
Yeah,
We're learning.
you can talk all day long to the girl at your salon about whatever you want to, and it won't go anywhere. But when it comes to Saraland and Satsuma, you might want to be careful because everybody's related.
All right, now what happened with Chickasaw? Is Chickasaw worth a flip in 20? No offense, Chickasaw. Pretend we're just watch
Man,
something else for a minute.
I'll tell you what, I feel bad for Chickasaw right now.
Why?
Because they had the only Whataburger in North Mobile, and then Saraland got one.
Oh, so they're losing. They're just they're
There
trying
goes their tourism.
Their competition is difficult for Chickasaw.
It is.
Have you ever lived in Chickasaw?
I have lived in Chickasaw. Right when I got married, this was about 2007. Had a little house in Chickasaw. Loved it. Loved the neighborhood. But yeah, I moved out and came on back to the big city.
Can you imagine being constricted to just live in Chickasaw, Saraland, or Satsuma? Why have you why
Should we
there?
really get into it? Because I know my mom's watching right now. Hey, Mama, I'm going to just get into it. Don't get mad at me. I'm not allowed. We're not allowed. Our family's huge, massive. We're not allowed to leave the perimeter. So you've got Sims and North Mobile, and our whole family lives within that distance of one another.
Okay, so
I
it's
moved away to Alaska for 1 year, and you would have thought the world was ending. I was
Okay.
the only one to ever leave.
All right. So it's strong family. This is wonderful. Have you thought of running for office?
Have
in
not.
Saraland?
My sister should run for office because she doesn't put up with anything. I cry too much.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm too emotional to run for office. But my sister, she's real mean.
Okay. All right. Your sister's mean.
She's
See, we've
mean.
learned this. The mother
She knows
is
it.
the mother's loving and controlling and possessive, and the sister is mean. And why would you look at jobs like mayor and governor, and you think, why would anybody want that job? Especially now. All right. And by the way, I'll get right back to you, Jonna. All you people attacking Kay Ivey. Now, I also have been very critical of Kay Ivey's political decisions, like the way she behaved with the toll bridge. I might have even, I don't even want to repeat the words that I said about Kay Ivey during the toll bridge situation. But I'm hearing people calling her all kind of names, and a lot of the insults are based on her age. Stop the discrimination against the elderly. The elderly have it worse than anybody in this country. We've got all the knowledge and our bodies don't work, and now we've got a pandemic that's targeting us. And even in all of this threat to our lives, people are making fun and mocking the governor because of her elderliness and her infirmities and calling her Governor Grandma or Governor Meemaw. Shame on you, you freakish people, making fun of somebody that age, an elderly woman like that. She just had some horrible health problems. She really needs to be under some kind of a dome or something, protected from the COVID-19. She's risking her life to come out and give these press conferences and get on Twitter. So please quit making fun of the governor's age. I apologize for interrupting your interview. Now, Jonna, how did you end up on 95 KSJ?
Luck. No, I started working with iHeart 3 years ago at 107.3 KISS FM, and then ended up on our country station in Biloxi, K99 Country. And last year, out of the blue, Bill Black from KSJ came to me and said, how would you like to do this little sliver of time on KSJ between Bobby Bones' The Morning Show and between lunchtime? So, of course, I dove into that opportunity. KSJ is a legacy station. I love it. And then this past year, kind of got extended time frame wise, and now I'm on 10 to 2 every day.
Now, are you recognized in the community from being on 95 KSJ? When you go into a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General, what are you snickering at? What are you, an elitist?
Yes.
Oh, you never go to Dollar Tree?
That's why we have the crappy divider.
You're not on microphone. I didn't want a real answer. Why are you snickering at Dollar Tree? All right, never mind. Look, when you go into a Dollar Tree or a Dollar General, if you want to get fancy, do people recognize you from your voice?
The Dollar General in Saraland, they do. They're my buds. They know. They keep the station on all the time. Nowhere else. Nobody recognizes me anywhere. And I like it that way. I'm not one to kind of say, hey, I'm Jonna Farmer from the radio. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable kind of living that persona whenever I leave the radio station. But Saraland, Dollar General, they're awesome to me.
Okay, very good. All right, we're going to take phone calls in a moment. The number is 251. Are the phones working?
Yes.
You think they are? 251-217-6974. 251-217-6974. Before we take phone calls, Jonna, I don't have Netflix because there's already too many other services to subscribe to. So please explain to me and other people my age, what is the Tiger Man show on Netflix that everybody is going wild over?
Tiger King.
Tiger King.
Tiger King, not the Tiger Man.
Now, is he a king of tigers? What is he?
He is a glorious disaster. So this man owns a zoo in Oklahoma. His name is Joe Exotic.
Time out. Now, that's him?
That's him. This is Joe Exotic.
All right. Now, I have seen people that look like that a lot in Mobile County.
And you can come to Saraland and see him all the
Well, yeah,
time.
I mean, seriously, yes. I've seen people like the king
Right.
a lot. All right, so.
What you can't see is that his hair is bleached out. He did it himself. He's got piercings everywhere, tattoos all over
All right,
himself.
so he's got mental problems.
Well, okay. So yes, but not because of the piercings. So Tiger King, murder, mayhem, madness. You're going to get all of that in 7 episodes with this dude.
All right, wait, pause on that. Yeah, if you've got a lot of piercings, there's a problem. There's something going on in here if you want to keep piercing up on. Now, again, no offense to the pierced. You know, we've got all kind of free counseling going on that you can call and get, even from government agencies. United Way, 211 is the number where you can call.
We can't call the governor grandma, but you can talk about the pierced.
Well, the K-Abby's not mentally, she's not pierced up.
That you know of.
Jonna,
What?
please don't be an antagonistic.
Everybody's
guest,
got secrets.
Please. All right. So anyway,
Okay.
7 episodes of the Tiger King. Why are people going nuts over this?
Because I have never seen, and most people have never seen anything like this in their life. It is the most, I watch true crime documentaries every single night. It's like bedtime stories to me. I started this and could not take my eyes off of it because it is the most bananas thing I've ever seen in my life. He owns a zoo,
Okay.
and he owns big cats. He's got a thing for tigers and lions. He even crossbreeds them to make ligers. It's a real thing, the ligers.
Can I call that mentally ill?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, you can.
Nut. All right.
He's got over 200 big cats on his property, or he did. So the man charges people to come on his property for cub pettings, to come play with baby tigers, and he charges a lot of money to come onto his property and do this. But it is, from start to finish, just wild. Someone in the first episode gets their arm eaten off and then comes right back to work within a couple of days. And after that, it gets even crazier. He gets married to 2 men at the same time. So all 3 of them are up on the altar together. And then there is a lady named Carol Baskins, who runs a tiger refuge in Tampa, but it's not. She's doing the same deadgum thing that the Tiger King's doing. She's just bashing this guy from the internet because she has more internet capability than this guy does. Carol Baskins is a terrible human. And anyway, she's doing the same thing and has all these volunteers brainwashed on her compound in Tampa to come help her out. And it's just nuts. Well, Carol Baskin's multi-millionaire husband all of a sudden up and goes missing. Well, Joe Exotic takes it to his internet TV show and tells the world that she fed him to the tigers that are living on her property. Hence the murder part of Murder, Mayhem, and Madness.
Look.
And then there's a cult. There's a cult in like North Carolina or something with a guy named Doc Antle, where he hires women to be his apprentices and live on property and makes them get boob jobs and stuff too.
All right, look.
It's wild,
look.
pun intended.
So now that I had not heard any of this before now, because I was you've heard ignorance is bliss. It's wonderful. It really is. Ignorance is bliss. And I had been very ignorant of the Tiger King. And now that I've heard what I've heard, I want to say this to you. Shame on you that are out there just watching this and reveling in it, in the weirdness of it. Shame on you. You know, they just launched Disney Plus where you can watch Snow White and stuff. Why would you watch people getting their arms eaten off and having 4 or 5 people getting married at the same time and feeding each other to tigers and stuff like that in a cult with boob jobs? What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you that you would watch this? We've got a mental health problem in this country. This is why the pandemic is that much worse. The pandemic is worse because we have a steady diet of this kind of crap that we're putting into our brain every dead-gum day of the week. If we would just stop watching that and watch like Beverly Hillbillies or we didn't have this. We didn't have weird tiger people back when the Beverly Hillbillies were on. It just didn't happen. But America has fed itself a diet of crap. And look where we are now. We're at a point where when we have an existential threat, something that threatens the whole country, our first impulse is to run out to make sure we can wipe our ass. And then, let's watch the Tiger King. It's sick. You people out there, you need to get back to basics in your lives. This should be a reality check. There's a pandemic in the Tiger King. These are signs. These are apocalyptic signs that are erupting in our lives. Now, I apologize for interrupting you there. Is there anything else we should talk about, Jonna, before we go to the phones?
Just that these people were around when the Beverly Hillbillies were on TV. We just didn't see it.
Well,
I just want to throw that out.
Well,
there's always been freaks.
But we didn't say, you're exactly
There's always
right.
been freaks.
There have always been freaks.
And this is such a great distraction from
no,
everything right now. That's why I have reveled in the Tiger King. I am even now a part of 2 Facebook groups where they're ex-employees at these zoos and at the cult with the boob jobs. They're all in this Facebook group.
This is not a good use of your time, John.
I'm for sure.
It's not a good use.
Such a good distraction.
This is not mentally healthy.
If you want to send Joe Exotic some stuff to prison, I've even got the hookup on how you can send him some stuff to his commissary.
Please, no. You know, we're trying to protect
We got a full list of everything he likes in his commissary.
This is a barrier from the COVID-19. We're trying to protect Jonna and me from all the droplets of the COVID-19. We need something for the mind like this, because that is just like the COVID-19. It gets into your brain, and before you know it, your brain's on a ventilator. Your brain is going to be on a ventilator, dummy. Stop it. Insulate your mind. Read some New Testament. Watch some Beverly Hillbillies. All right, what else can we talk about before we go to the phones? Has anybody tried to call?
They have tried to call.
Okay.
All right.
Claim that we can't call.
I want to make sure that John is comfortable going to the phones. Is there anything else you want to tell us about 95 KSJ, your life, your times? Anything? Any
No.
shout out?
Thank you to everyone who has been reaching out on KSJ. We've had a lot of social interaction with all this going on, and we're trying to I made a promise to my listeners to do nothing but spread positive news from now on. We'll give you the updates on what's happening, but I promise to only spread positive news. Positive news also meaning entertainment.
No, positive.
Entertainment news. Positive news right now is that the Tiger King has been put in quarantine so that he doesn't get
course.
COVID-19. That's a positive.
There's no,
news
he
update.
probably participates in multiple pandemics. We don't know. All right, anything else?
No,
before
we're good. We're good.
All right, here we are. We're going to see what happens. This is when Johnny Gwin said, let's do this, I thought that the technology would be top notch. We've seen all the Zoom meetings, the Microsoft team and all this. And he tells me, he says, I'm going to go buy a burner phone. We're going to be taking you, this is like something the Tiger King would do, is go buy a burner phone before he feeds somebody to a lion.
He did that before the murder for hire. Yeah. It's
All
part
right,
of
the
show.
number, 217-6974. All right, first caller. Here we go. Yes. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I want to help people out. You were talking about wiping, and I have an idea.
Be careful.
Okay, I was just going to say, if you run out of toilet paper, you can go to the car wash and hang it out the window.
Oh, hang up on this guy.
That's nasty.
Hang up on this. Look, can we not, has nothing changed since 1989?
That's nasty.
You know, back in 1999, we didn't have these smartphones. And now, we've got all the knowledge of human history available to us on these phones. Just think about back when I was a kid, Jonna, if you wanted to know something, you'd have to get on a horse and ride to a library and beg somebody to read a book to you. Now we've got all the accumulated knowledge of mankind right at our fingertips. And what do we use this for? We use it for TikTok videos. And then there are some people, they take pictures of their genitalia and send it out to people. It's sick. All right, answer the phone again. Hello, hello. Hello.
Hey, is this Deep Fried Studios?
This is Deep Fried Studios Live, Uncle Henry Show.
Hey, Uncle Henry, do you need anybody to help you out and get your groceries since you're an elderly?
Oh, that was very sweet.
Thank you. That's wonderful. I don't really want to actually meet you in the real world, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
We've already met last year.
Oh, sorry. Is there anything else you want to say before we hang up on you with impunity?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Who's coaching you?
It's the waiter guy.
Huh?
It's the waiter man. Waiter delivery.
What? All right, look, I appreciate your kindness. Hang up on him, please.
Is that the guy that delivers your food?
So, she had some stranger there in her home.
God
This
bless
is what happened.
That's how true crime stories start.
Exactly. All right, hello there.
Hello,
Yes, you are on the Uncle Henry Show.
Uncle Henry. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
You know who this is?
No.
No.
Well, the volume is lousy. They've got the setup here is lousy, and I can barely hear you.
It's Bama Big Man.
Bama Big Man. Bama Big Man lives out Lot Road.
Oh, okay. 8 Mile.
Do you have family in Lot Road 8 Mile area?
I have family in the area, not far from there, yes.
Bama Big Man, what's going on?
Not much, Uncle Henry, but you know what this lockdown, whatever you want to call it, you know what's bugging me the most?
What?
It's the fact we don't talk about Bama football.
Now, and roll tide roll.
Roll Tide, roll.
Thank you for bringing that up. Bama Big Man, Jonna has an Auburn license plate on her vehicle.
Well, forget Jonna right now.
Hey, wait a minute. She's a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Man,
Let me
I'm just
tell-
glad that all this pandemic didn't happen during football season because the Bama fans would not shut up about it if it did.
All right, now let's
It'd be the
now, Jonna,
apocalypse.
let's have some harmony, please.
When we keep whipping that ass, everybody. Let me tell
I
you
can
something.
play friendly. It's okay.
Okay, we're cool.
We're cool.
Uncle Henry.
We're probably related.
Maybe. I might be your daddy. Who knows?
All right, look, Bama Big Man,
God.
you've had a couple, obviously, at this point. You're monopolizing the damn phone. What do you need to say?
Let me just say something. By now we would be talking about, spring training,
Right.
and, whatever, and the A-Day coming, but, this is like dead period. At least we have no injuries right now.
All right. Anything else, Bama Big Man, before we go on to another caller?
This is great, man. I enjoy this. Thank you, Johnny Gwin. Y'all have a great evening. Love y'all. I'm watching.
All right, thank you, Bama Big Man.
Love you, cousin.
Before you go to the next phone call, how did you become an Auburn fan?
My dad.
Okay,
Yeah.
now that's acceptable.
Yeah.
That's acceptable. But it illustrates the point that you, the parent, you've got to make sure that you're a good role model for your children. All right?
Take your kids to the plains.
No, just remember that they're going to model what they see you do. All right, do we have another caller?
Turning off call waiting.
Oh, they're trying to learn call waiting.
That's
on
what the
dadgum
beep
phone.
was.
That's what the beep did.
I didn't mind the beep.
It gave me a tick a little bit. I was ticking.
It
Yeah.
did not. It didn't. The beep of the call waiting didn't. Now it may have bothered the viewer, but it didn't bother me at all. It was reassuring, as if I were hooked up to hospital equipment.
So, how many of your normal listeners are Bama fans that hate Auburn? Or are they fairly friendly? Like, I'm an Auburn fan, but I don't hate Alabama.
Well, that's a great question.
My
John.
cousin was actually Big Al
See, this is wow.
at the University of Alabama.
Bama Big Man, you were rude to Big Al's cousin.
Yep.
Bama Big Man, shame on you. Now the question, and you asked, one of the great reasons to have you here as a guest is because you asked a great question, which is how many of the listeners hate Auburn?
Right.
I've found that it's the young ones that are full of all the venom. That
Really?
as people age, they become more loving toward others and more accepting. And I know a lot of top Alabama fans that love Auburn friends and family, and they only root against Auburn during the Iron Bowl.
Right. That's kind of how I am.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
All right, is there another call?
We're getting there.
All right, they screwed up the barrier. The phones are being screwed up. There's probably, who knows, we might have a filter on our faces right now. We might be
Googly
rabbits
eyes.
or something. But we'll get back to the phones eventually, I guess.
So, Uncle Henry, if I give you my login for Netflix,
No,
please,
no,
please,
no,
it's great.
no.
He does his own internet TV show, and the videos are so well produced that they look like Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Remember in Beetlejuice when he does his stuff?
Oh, Beetlejuice was too confusing for me. All right,
Oh,
let's take a
caller.
call then, damn it. Hello, caller.
Hey, Uncle Henry, did you
Hey.
say that?
What?
Did you say Tiger Guy ran the zoo?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you said, little girl. Hello?
Hey, Uncle Henry, did you say that Tiger Guy ran the zoo?
The tiger guy did run the zoo, yes. What happened to the little girl?
I don't know. I'm gonna kill it.
All right, look, why are you putting, look, this is, why would a child, is a child watching this?
Do they have their own Facebook page? That's not good.
You know, why are you adults? You know, we just talked about role models. Are you actually handing the phone to your kid? All right, hello. Hello?
Hey,
Yes.
this is David Calamari. Are we on live?
You are live. This is who, David?
David Calametti, Uncle Henry.
Dave Calametti. Hello there.
We need some calming reassurance about how to survive the next few days.
Okay.
And I think you're the guy to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us some rules to live by.
For sure.
All right, I would be glad to. Thank you. Please hang up on Calametti. Well, first thing you should do is establish a daily routine for your mental health. Don't just lay around and wonder what you're going to do every day during the quarantine. It's important to have a routine. Do you agree with that?
I agree.
All right, so you should wake up in the morning and read some scripture, even if you're an atheist, because the idea of atheists reading the scripture based on my recommendation thrills me. So read some scripture, then start thinking, what elderly people do I know that I can go like mow their grass or do their shopping for them? Because action is the enemy of anxiety. Action kills the anxiety. So my grass does need to be mowed. My shrubs need to be cut. I bought this house, Jonna, that looked great, but the damn shrubs are gigantic.
Are you changing this whole thing into a pitch for people to come do your
He
stuff?
wanted to know. He wanted to know.
You just
This is
turned-
real.
Okay.
This is real.
Okay.
But these damn
You're just
shrubs.
listing things that you need done now.
Well, the shrubs are. I have to get on a ladder to cut these damn shrubs, and they're special where they're like shaped up in a special way that you can't just let them grow wild. And it's just so if you could cut my shrubs and cut my grass, that would be a great way for you to maintain your mental health and stay calm during the pandemic. And if you need additional days, you know, my car gets pollen on it. You could wash my car. There's even a tree that I need cutting down in the backyard. So Calametti, get in touch. I can come up with a list every day. It'll start with scripture, and then we'll get into chores. And I think you'll feel better about yourself. All right, any addition? We have a call? Hello?
Yes, I'm calling for Uncle Henry.
Yes, this is Uncle Henry. You're on the Uncle Henry Show.
Hey, Uncle Henry. I'm watching the show there. You and that young lady, it's looking real good. But I thought you was gonna have your big fat mama on
You
there.
stop! Cut that guy off! Cut that guy off! Hey, don't you ever talk about my mother like that. She's extreme elderly. She's got the COVID-19 target all over her. What if she gets the COVID and her last memories are some guy called her a blob on the internet? And we won't even be able to visit her because of the visiting rules. So that's what she's left with, that memory of you being a sleazebag scumbag. Calling, what kind of, now is this the kind of stuff, do people in Chickasaw ever do mama insults to people of Satsuma or things like that in North
Not
Mobile
since
County?
like 1982. They haven't done yo mama jokes.
That hurt. You know, you hurt me physically. I can feel things. I didn't even know that I could bulge. Is there another call?
Yes, got one.
All right.
Gotta be careful. You're
Hello? Hello. You're on the Uncle Henry Show.
Yeah, just I guess two things. One for John. I was really thinking about getting like a Joe Exotic tattoo. Should I get it on my thigh or maybe my like?
Wait a minute. Don't call in here for tattoo recommendations.
We can talk about it though. It's for sure a good thing. I actually think you should get it on your thigh and then on your rib cage get "Here Kitty Kitty" down the side.
Oh, that's
Maybe
sick.
a couple of
That
paw
is sick,
prints.
Jonna.
Get the paw prints on your chest.
That is sick.
Right here, 2 of them. You can even do it 3D so it looks like it's scratching into your skin a little bit.
Opposing opinion, please.
Yeah.
You know,
And then,
the
like-
thigh, you don't want other people around that thigh.
But it screams intimidating when it's on the thigh.
Well, no, the thigh, that is a no-fly zone
Yeah.
for other
And then what
people.
about, like, if I
even
were
if
to-
you, hey, even if you're wedded in a marital condoned relationship from the church, the thigh, we don't get into the thigh. You understand what I'm saying?
But then I could also get like Carol on my back that said I didn't do it.
No,
What
but
is
she
this?
did do it. You just
All right.
just get Carol
Is
and
there
then a big
anything-
red circle with a line.
Hang
through
up
it.
on this person.
Right there.
Hang up on him now. This is not, look,
I
we're
support
trying to,
you. I
we're trying
support
to,
you.
we're here, we're trying to calm people down. All the stupid people that need to be calmed down. You've seen them out into the streets of the city of Mobile acting like a bunch of idiots.
But let me just put this out there. Tiger King is such a distraction
Why
from
are
the
you bringing
local
this up again?
stupids. It's a distraction from like the everyday stupid because it's in Oklahoma stupid and it's in Tampa stupid. So it's a great not us stupid.
People model their behavior after what they see on TV.
Oh, that's hogwash.
It is not hogwash.
That's hogwash.
Look at from the TV show. Do you remember, were you old enough to watch Friends?
I didn't like Friends.
The
but I know
TV
what
show
you're talking about.
Friends, where all these young, good-looking people lived in apartments and coupled with each other? They had a hairdo this woman had a hairdo, the Rachel haircut, and all the women of the country had the Rachel haircut because they saw it. And it's the same with the debauchery of the Tiger King. All right, they're telling me that I'm running short on time because even though we're on the internet and it should be unlimited, no, we're constricted because we're at Deep Fried Studios with the Inexpensive Winos team. Is there another call?
We don't have a phone. We're waiting for a phone call.
Okay, so
for
good.
one more?
I'm glad the calls have dropped off.
We had so many, I will say.
Tiger Tattoo Talk? Anyone?
251-217-6974 if you want to get a final call in.
I'm making an executive decision, people. We'll go until they cut us off. How about that?
See, I was just looking forward to ending it.
Okay, give a phone call.
All right, let's go to the phones. Hello, caller.
Hey, I'm calling to win the Uncle Henry bag.
What do you mean? There's no contest for my bag.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not your bag. It's your sack. I want to
It's
win
not,
your
no,
sack.
there's no contest for my sack. In fact, I've got my sack here because I've got a special, you brought up my sack. I'm going to give John a gift for being on the show. Hang up on this person. All right, now I brought you a gift
Thank you.
for being on the show. I brought you the cheapest bacon available. It's
I'm
frugal.
excited. I'm
There
excited.
you
Thank
go.
you.
Some
Did it-
bacon for Jonna.
Did it come off the back of a Walmart food
No.
truck? Is it
I
expired?
bought it. No, it's not
Like
expired.
on Tiger King? That's how they
It's
feed the
not
tigers. It's
expired.
from expired meat from the back of a Walmart truck.
I bought
Fun
it
fact.
right before the pandemic. Is there any other call?
It's room temperature.
Yes, it is, so you need to fry it soon. Hello, caller. You're on the Uncle Henry Show.
Yes, is it Morgan Freeman?
What does that mean? No, I'm not
Is it
Morgan Freeman.
Freeman, the answer.
I'm not Morgan Freeman.
Is Bobby Bone?
Hang up! What is wrong with you people? What's wrong? Why can't we get, I thought that there would be, we're trying to calm people down, and all that's going on is a whipping into a frenzy
I
here.
didn't feel like I'd be this confused on this show.
Well, I apologize for that. I thought we would be more protected from each other.
Well,
All right, is there any other call?
You have another one?
All right.
There we go.
Hello, you're on the Uncle Henry Show.
Hey, Uncle Henry. I noticed that when you put on your cape for the toll bridge, you blocked the toll. So I was wondering if you would put on that cape and help us block the coronavirus.
That's
Will you don the cape again?
it's a great idea.
I didn't think I would like wearing a cape because it reminded me too much of Liberace. But I actually did enjoy wearing the cape. But it all depends. Capes don't come free. If I can figure out a way to get the money up in this just devastated economy, to get an anti-coronavirus or anti-ro-ro cape, I'll be glad to do so. Thank you for that. This is maybe one of the only good calls we had.
Do you know
Thank
who
you,
else
sir.
wears a
Yes, sir.
cape?
Put it on and save us all.
Okay, thank you, sir.
The Tiger
goodbye.
King wears a cape.
All right. Anything
It all
else?
circles back.
All right. Hello, caller. You're on the Uncle Henry Show.
I'm going to tell you what.
Norman.
I've been watching this, trying to watch it, this is kind of some foolishness you got going on there.
Well,
and you
explain.
seem a little more agitated this evening than you are in the morning.
Well, people don't call in and say stupid things in the morning like this.
You're right. It's ridiculous. But and you're right. This is just like that show that you had. You know, can you believe it's been almost 30 years ago?
Yes, I believe it. I feel it every dadgum day.
You're right. Well, I just wanted to say I didn't even know this was coming on, and my nephew called me and told me, so I was watching it.
Norman,
Couldn't find it.
Norman, do you know Jonna Farmer of 95 KSJ?
I think she went to school with my nephew's stepdaughter, so we're related somehow.
We're probably Norman. You sound very familiar, and I can't place from your voice who your nephew's stepdaughter is, but I love your accent. You have my favorite accent in the entire world. It is absolutely splendid.
Well,
Are you from Satsuma, Norman?
No, I'm from 8 Mile.
From 8 Mile.
Actually, I got my other nephew. His wife, I think, went to school with you, Megan Clark.
Yes, yes.
And then my other nephew, his stepdaughter was Michelle Fraser.
Michelle, yes, she's Hundley now. Michelle
All right.
Mabel.
Right.
All right. Look, Norman,
Right.
this is riveting. And I don't know if I can
Rude.
I don't know that I can take the excitement of all of this. Norman, am I supposed to end the show? Okay.
Roll Tide.
Well, wait,
Norman, you are precious.
Is there any advice you want to give people on how to deal with the pandemic, Norman?
Stay away from me and stay away from Uncle Henry.
All right, very good. Thank you. That's very good. Thank you, Norman. All right. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, is this the Uncle Henry show?
Yes, it is.
Well, good evening, Uncle Henry. This is Caroline Cooper from North Carolina.
Hi, Caroline Cooper.
Oh, my goodness.
Are you calling from North Carolina?
Yes, I am. I've been listening every morning now faithfully for several months, and my family in Bay Minette, they listen now to your show, and I enjoy getting all the news from Mobile every morning, and it's just a lot of fun.
Caroline Cooper, what a blessing to have you and Norman call in, two sane callers.
Well, thank you so much.
Caroline.
It's a lot of fun to listen to you in the morning, and it gets me up and gets me going, and it reminds me of home every day, and being on the Gulf Coast just meant so much to me when I lived down there in Pascagoula. And we've got the same kind of issues here in North Carolina that you all have had. I laughed at Bridget Jerkins the other morning saying, well, we're still going to cut hair in Mobile. And I thought, well, not for too many more days. And sure enough, she's not cutting hair now.
Caroline, now, Jonna, I think Jonna said there were like tiger cults in North Carolina. Is that what you said?
I don't know where exactly he's in one of the Carolinas. Doc Antle from the Tiger King documentary.
There's a tiger world over in China Grove, North Carolina, that's about maybe 9 miles from my house. And they have some issues, but I don't know that it's related to anything with the tiger world.
It's got to be the same thing.
All right, now, what kind of issues do you have at Tiger World? I'm going to assume biting?
No, I think there were some issues with where they were getting the food and what they were feeding the tigers. I think the local grocery stores were giving them leftovers for a while, and that they had decided some number of years ago that it wasn't very good for the tigers.
Expired meat. They were loading up all the expired meat and feeding it to the animals.
You know about the Tiger World?
Clearly.
I don't know a lot about it. We have a much better petting zoo here in Mooresville. That's the Lazy Five Ranch. And they have camels and stuff, and you can go out and give them little buckets of food every Sunday afternoon.
See, that's precious.
So that's everybody's new Sunday entertainment here in North Carolina. Since they can't race, all the race teams got laid off. So now all the spotters and crew chiefs are going feeding little buckets of food to the camels out at the Lazy Five.
Well, that's perfect.
Isn't that something?
That's great. You can
That
also
is-
do that at my Aunt Kathy's farm in Chunchilla.
So
Yeah, and yeah, y'all could all go feed everybody. There's cows out in Citronelle. Y'all could go feed them out there. You could have a drive-through petting zoo right there on the road going out to the pond in Citronelle.
see, this is, now if David Calametti is still watching, this is something you could do to stay calm is take a bucket of food and feed some creature.
That's
Just
right.
feed a creature of
Are
some
you now
kind.
trying to convince him to come feed your dogs?
I didn't say anything about feeding my
It's
dogs.
all coming back to you and doing your chores, isn't it?
But I will say that the Purina Corporation makes a wide variety at
And
all
see,
price
this is-
points.
We
of
could do
good
this
food.
too. Y'all could just take some nuts down and put them in the park down in Midtown Mobile and spread them out, and then you'd have squirrel stories for Monday morning.
Okay. Well, Caroline, thank you so much. It's nice to hear from somebody that's lived in Bay Minette and Pascagoula and calling from North Carolina. I feel like we are a nexus of redneckery.
There you go. And worked in NASCAR and now work for Lowe's Home Improvement. So another plug for them too. So
Very
love
good.
you, Uncle Henry. Y'all
Thank
have
you.
a good night down
Thank
there.
you
and,
very much.
It certainly makes our mornings here in North Carolina to listen to you too. And roll tide,
Roll, tide, roll. Thank you. All right, isn't that sad that in North Carolina they don't have an Uncle Henry equivalent? You'd think they'd have something up there for poor Caroline to listen to. Are we done with the calls? Let's take a call. Hello, caller. Hello?
Hey, Uncle Henry.
Yes, it is.
Hey, I appreciate you doing this for us out here, suffering in the isolation.
Yes.
And what I'm curious about is, are you getting a man bun going on in the back there?
No. No. That's nothing. See, there's another example of where the country has gone wrong. Man buns. All right, are we done? All right, well, I think we're going to end the program here because I got up this morning at 3:30, which is my daily wake-up call, and I'm really running on fumes. All right, Jonna, anything you want to throw in?
Thank you for my bacon.
You're welcome.
I'm going to cook it tonight.
Good.
Very hungry. And then I'm going to text you on your smartphone with my Netflix login and password.
I will not accept it.
So that you can watch Tiger King. It really is such a great distraction.
All right.
And if anyone wants to talk about Tiger King, then just message me on Facebook. And I will send you all the memes and we can have conversations about it.
All right, wait, I've got something to say. Quit clapping. One more thing real quick before we are done with this. Thank you for watching. It was a lot of fun to try and do this again. I want to thank Jonna very much. Just going out and about now requires a lot more thinking than it did before because of the pandemic. So, Jonna, thank you for coming out of your home when you could have been with your family.
Thank you for getting me out of the
watching
home.
trash on Netflix. I know a lot of people have been thanking the first responders. I feel the same way. Thank you so much for all of you first responders that are on the front lines. And of course, the doctors and nurses that are on the front lines. Thank you. We know how very stressful it is what you're doing. We want to thank you for all that. I want to give a special thank you also to the grocery store workers because you're out in some of the germiest places. I mean, every time I go to the grocery store, I see all these germy freaks up in there. And they act like they act like there's no damn virus, these germed up freaks. And I worry about you, the grocery store workers, having to deal with these people. Not only are they germy, they're really stupid as well. So I want you to know that I thank you for you're risking yourself there to provide me with bacon. So thank you very much for that. All right, let's end the show. Turn it off, Johnny. make me walk off. No. Dadgummit. Come on, I'm not that nasty. I'm not that nasty. We're not that nasty. Stop.
It's smart.
Turn it off.
It's smart.
Turn it off.